Hi all, my name is Sandeep and welcome to my YouTube channel. Nowadays, as more and more long content documents are floating over the internet, it is becoming increasingly difficult and time consuming for someone like a researcher, scientist, journalist or anyone else to filter out the content they actually want. A summary or a paraphrase synopsis of a document helps readers quickly go through the highlights of a document without the need of going through the entire document, and it saves significant amount of time. Transformer models can automate this kind of natural language processing, that is NLP task, quite well. And there are two approaches. One is extractive text summarization and another is abstractive text summarization. In case of extractive text summarization, it identifies and extracts the most significant or important sentences from a given document without understanding the underlying meaning of the content. On the other hand, in case of abstractive text summarization, it is much more advanced and challenging since it aims to understand the entire document and then it basically creates one paraphrase text which would summarize the main points from the document. Transformer-based NLP model such as BART, that is bidirectional autoregressive transformer model, can perform this kind of text summarization, that is abstractive text summarization, quite well. Transformer model is a encoder-decoder architecture based model and it's a sequence to sequence model. That means its input is a sequence of text and also output is also a sequence of text. In case of abstractive text summarization, it requires natural language understanding, NLU, where the model needs to read the entire document text, and also it has to understand each and every token or word in the context of what came before it and after it. In this video, I will give you an end-to-end demo of a text summarization web application which I have built, tested, and also deployed onto AWS, Amazon Web Services ECS, on Amazon Cloud. And in this work, basically we are using pre-trained BART large model with 12 encoders decoders layers and 400 million parameters. So in the app, one can type the entire text in a box provided and then summarize the text just by clicking on a button in just few seconds or minutes. And one can also upload any text present in a file format such as PDF file, plain text file, Microsoft Word file such as docx, JPG image, etc. And then upload that file and also summarize the text just by clicking on a button. So once someone uploads the file, it will show the content of the file over there, and then the person can summarize the text quickly. Now I will give you the demo. Okay, I will first show you the app. This app has been built using Streamlit library in Python, and when you launch it here locally, it will look like this. As you can see, it's text summarization machine learning app. And so here you can type the entire text, any huge text in this box, and then click on the summarize button to summarize it. So I'll just give you a quick demo, and there is one article of how machine learning has been used for the black holes research by the scientists and how they got a breakthrough by applying machine learning models. So it's a huge article, and as you can see, one may not understand the entire article and may not have time also to go through the entire article. But when you just summarize it here, you will find it that it is much more readable and understandable. So if I just read the summarized content, so researchers use machine learning and supercomputers to reconstruct the growth histories of black holes. Simulations of millions of computer-generated universe revealed that supermassive black holes grow in lockstep with their host galaxies. Black holes are surrounded by a mysterious invisible layer, etc., etc. So it is at least one can somewhat understand or figure out what this article is about, and the basically the summary or the gist. Here one can also upload any text present in this file format, such as plain text file, .jpg file, PDF file, Microsoft Word file such as docx. So when a user uploads any such file like .text, JPG, PDF or docx, it will show the content here, display the content over here. Then one can summarize the text by clicking on this summarize text button. So I'll quickly show you some demo here. So I am uploading one PDF file and it will show you the content. It is someone's resume. And when you click on this summarize text button, it will summarize based on some key achievements and skills of this person just in a couple of sentences. So it will take a couple of minutes because we are using, large BART model, BRT, bidirectional and autoregressive transformer model. That is a famous NLP model, state-of-the-art advanced NLP model for text summarization and other NLP tasks. But this is a little bit memory consuming and it will take a couple of minutes here to summarize it text. It will summarize it. So meanwhile, I'll show you the other option of file loading, uploading. For example, this one can also upload any text present in a JPG image. So in that case, it will first extract the text from this JPG image using OCR extraction, optical character recognition extraction, and after OCR extraction, so once you have this text, the document, then it can be sent to the BART model for text summarization. So for OCR extraction, we are using Tesseract engine and PyTesseract library in Python. And one can also upload any Microsoft Word file such as docx file, and then it will extract the text from this docx file, and then you can summarize the document here. And one can also upload plain text file, any document written in the plain text file, and then upload it and then summarize the text. Anyway, since it is taking a couple of minutes, so I just pause the video and then we'll be back when text summarization process is complete. Okay, so now text summarization is completed for this resume. As you can see, it has summarized this person's resume based on some key achievements or key skills, etc. It has written this guy is a graduate of the Center of Advanced Studies, Lucknow, and he has worked in machine learning and deep learning research field for the development of efficient autonomous artificial intelligence AI systems. He is also a volunteer in the international conference on blah blah blah, etc. So it's much more readable, and you can quickly get some idea about this person's key skills and achievement based on the summary. Now I'm going to upload one text present in a JPG image. What about this one? Global warming effects. So here some article is there on the global warming and climate change, and then but it's a JPG image. As you can see, it's a JPG image, and so it has to first extract the text from this JPG image using OCR extraction method, optical character recognition, and after that BART model will summarize the text. So in this case also, we'll just click on the summarize text button, and it will take a couple of minutes, and then you will have the results here, summarize text. So it may also take a couple of minutes. Let's see. After this is done, we'll quickly walk through the code, Python code. Yeah, here we have the summary of this global warming and climate change article. So as you can see, it has nicely summarized this article or part of the article in just a couple of sentences, and it is much more readable and understandable. Okay, now we'll quickly walk through the code written in Python and for this web application. We used Streamlit library for building the app. I'll just quickly show you the code. It's just loading in IDE like Spider. Yeah, here it is, and we are importing the all the required libraries in Python. Before that, please note that before that I had to install all these required libraries using pip command. For example, docx2 text. So this library converts the docx file to text file, and this one, next one, PDF plumber, it also converts any text written in the PDF to the plain text, PDF plumber. And then there are a couple of other libraries like PyTesseract. As I already mentioned earlier, the PyTesseract library in Python is used for the OCR extraction. And of course, we need the transformer model also, like BART model. So I have to install the transformer libraries, and then from transformer we are importing the BART for conditional generation and BART tokenizer, BART config, etc. All these things. And then there are a couple of functions, small. One is for loading the image. Another one is for OCR extractions when you upload some text present in the image file. So for that, OCR extraction is used. So for OCR extraction, it is important to improve the quality of the image, such as contrast improvement. So that's what we are doing here. We are improving the contrast before sending it to the OCR, and then it extracts the text from this image using the PyTesseract library and also the Tesseract engine, which is running on the background. And then we are just formatting and parsing the text, and then we are sending it to the BART model here. So this function is for the text summarization using the BART model. Here, as you can see, that basically we are just storing the model in a just variable called model, and so from the Facebook BART large model, and tokenizer also is required. So it's an encoder decoder based model, architecture based model, and first it is tokenizing the input text, and we're getting the IDs for that input IDs, and then after that it is decoding those IDs summary and creating the summary IDs, and then from summary IDs the decoder is basically creating the text, summarized text actually. So it's encoder decoder architecture based model, and then this is the main function. Here we are building the Streamlit applications and text summarization, as you can see, and then so there is option for writing the text in a box, and also a file upload. All these things have been done here. So we are supporting .text file, .jpg file, .docx or Microsoft Word file, and PDF file, etc. And then the summary text button is there after file upload. So now we are going to talk about the deployment process. So for deployment, it is very important to Dockerize the entire application. So we'll be deploying it as a containerized application onto AWS, Amazon Web Service ECS, AWS ECS. So for that, you need to first write a Docker file, and so in the Docker file, you have a series of comments here from Python 3.9.0. So it will create Python environment, and then we have to expose the port 8501 here, and then it will create some folder, the Docker image, and then it will use it as a working directory, copy all the necessary files to this folder, and then we have to install all the required libraries here. For Python libraries, the requirement.txt file contains all the required Python libraries, and we are installing using pip command, as you can see. And then we have the entry point for running this Streamlit app. So after Docker file is created, so you need to install this Docker desktop on your laptop or desktop, and then also you need to, for the deployment onto AWS ECS, you need to install the AWS CLI, command line interface, and then do AWS configure on the this console. So when you do AWS configure, after installing AWS command line interface, then it will ask for the AWS access key ID and secure access key ID. So provide both of them. Once it is configured, then you have to use these steps to deploy onto AWS ECS. The first, you have to log on to AWS and go to the ECR, that is Elastic Container Registry, ECR. So here, if you type ECR and search, and then you can go there, go to ECR, Elastic Container Registry. Once you are there in Elastic Container Registry, then you have to create a private or public repository in ECR. After creating this public or private repository, you have to go to view push command. It will show you the push commands for our particular app. So for example, here I have created this repository text summarization app, and then you have to just select it and go to view push command. It will show you series of commands which are very much important for you to execute on the AWS this command line interface here. CLI, AWS CLI, you have to execute. So one is AWS ECR get login password, and then you have to build the Docker image. In my case, already I have built the Docker image. Then you have to tag this Docker image with this Amazon ECR, your repo ID. You have to tag this. This is very important, Docker image tagging. And after that, you have to push the Docker image to the this ECR repo which you have created, repository. So when you push it, then you will see the push it, and you click on use repo, ECR repo, then you will see the image, Docker image here. Then you have to copy the URI path. URI path basically the location of this Docker image which you have pushed here to the ECR, Elastic Container Registry. So it contains the location, URI contains the location of the path. So after that, the next step is, okay, before that I have to tell you that you have to make sure that you have the latest version of the AWS CLI and also the Docker installed on your laptop desktop, which I have already mentioned. So next step is you have to go to we have to go to ECS cluster and click on clusters. You have to go to so go to ECR and you have to go to ECS, Elastic Container Service, and you have to click on cluster, and you have to create clusters on which your app will be running. You have to create clusters on which your app will be running. So you have to go to ECS, which I have already shown. Click on the clusters, create a EC2. EC2 is the Elastic Cloud Compute. So you have to create EC2 Linux cluster, specify the cluster name, EC2 instant type, and other details. Keep other details at default and create it. So once you have created the ECS cluster, you have to view the cluster. You can view the cluster, but you have to create a task. So you have to create a task which will be running on this cluster. So in my case, I have already created a cluster. So I will just view the cluster. So here you can see the task. So here you need to run the new task. But before that, you have to go to task definition and create new task definition. You have to create the task definition first. You have to click on the new task definition, and then once your new task definition created, then you have to come back to cluster and go to cluster and go to your task, and then you have to click on run new task. So your created task will automatically be linked there. So go to task definition under the ECS and click on create new task definition, which I have already explained. Choose EC2 and specify a name and specify task memory, task CPU, and then add the container. This is very important. You have to container. You remember we copied the URI path. So container location, your Docker image, Docker container location, specify the container name and also the container image location. Your Docker container image location, you have to specify while creating the task, new task definition. Specify the port mapping, where we have to specify the port mapping 808501, and keep everything else as default. Click on add, the container will be added, and then you have to click on create to create the task. So you have just created a task definition. Now you have to go to cluster, and which I have already shown. You have to go to cluster and click on task and click on run new task. So then you have to, after specifying all this, you have to click on run task, and your task will be running on the cluster that you have created. Okay. So after your task is running, you have to go to EC2 dashboard that I will show you. After your task is running, you have to go to EC2 dashboard. And there you will see that instances. You have to click on instances running. I am on EC2 dashboard. Click on instances running. Then click on the instance ID. So check the status. You will find the status instance status running. Then you have to click on this open address. To launch or run your app, you have to click on the open address, the public IPv4 DNS open address. So by default, it will launch with the HTTP secure, the website or link. So then, but you have to change it to HTTP, because for HTTP secure, you need a certification for that. So in our case, it is HTTP. So when you click on go to that link, then finally you will see the app running on the AWS cloud using ECS cluster. Here, as you can see, in my case, app is running successfully, and then you can do the text summarization task here, either typing the text in this box or uploading the various files in different formats. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you like it, please give like and also write your comments. Thank you. Bye bye.